On Robin Hood Radio, nice to welcome in the president, El Presidente of the Tri-State Chamber of Commerce, and that is Gene Saliter. Gene, nice to speak to you.
Good morning, Marshall. Good morning, WHTD.
So now, I saw some pictures on Facebook. I saw some videos on Facebook. The big shindig that was held for the Tri-State Chamber.
Yes, we were having our annual meeting just after the rain and before the freeze on Thursday night.
So it's nice.
There was a heck of a lot of rain, and then man, did it get cold. And I hope that everybody got home safely because it was a little bit dicey.
Well, we didn't hear any differently, so I think you still have the same number of members as you had before it started.
Phew! But yeah, thank you to everybody who came out in that. I mean, the rain was sort of deflating; it took away all that snow. But we had. I'm going to say about 35 or 40 people come out, brave the elements, a couple of sponsors and a whole bunch of members, and good time was had by all.
So what's going on with the chamber now?
So we're going gangbusters. Our board was voted back in by the membership with no opposed. We have now, so we're 7 on the board. That's myself, Mary Wilbur, Janet Manco, Sue Dickinson, John Lannon, Marie Castagna, and Bianca Martin. So we were a good team, and we're back at it again for 2019.
All right, and obviously looking forward to 2019 because there's a lot that you can do with the fresh slate in front of you.
Yes, so that we got that one under our belt. We picked up a new sponsor in the past couple of weeks. That's Sharon Playhouse. They've joined a roster of 9, including WHTV Robin Hood Radio, Sharon Healthcare Center, Salisbury Garden Center, Litchfield Bancorp, Lakeville Journal Company, Housatonic Heritage, Gear Senior Community, and Fairview Hospital. So we've got great support at the sponsor level. We appreciate that so much.
All right, it's nice to have the Sharon Playhouse is back in full local and national action. The guys that that took it over last year and continued with stuff this winter have an amazing schedule set up for next year, and it looks like we have a nice theater company back in town.
It's so exciting. I had the privilege of being there last night for the We Just Move On, the pair of divas, covering some show tunes. I'm speechless. It took my breath away. They were sensational, and we were all in the Bach Gallery. It was set up cabaret style, and it was really dynamite. It was a lot of fun, and it was packed. It was standing room only, and Robert and Alan are doing a fantastic job.
They really are, and if it's one thing we all know is, and especially you as Chamber of Commerce members, that what we need in our area are attractions that bring people into our area, not only the people in our area going to businesses, but also people coming into the area by attractions.
Absolutely. We started last year with a marketing plan that the committee, myself, Janet, and Ed Stillman sort of put together. We whacked it together, and what we realized is that in years past, the Tri-State Chamber really only marketed to itself, keeping everything, all of our promotions and events and things sort of within this 25-mile radius. So we turned that inside out, and we started doing marketing on social media, et cetera, outside that radius, because we want people who are day trippers. We want people to come and, take us up on our lodging and our restaurants and our stores and, really enjoy all of the events that are in the area, not just in the summer, but in the winter, too. There's a lot going on. I mean, but Sharon was packed last night. There were 2 art shows. You had the Sharon Historical Society had a show about medicine, and then the Northlight Art Center had something at the library, or were they at the Historical Society? Anyway, there was no parking anywhere to be had in Sharon.
It was fun. And the night before that, of course, right down the road from us, Standard Space had a gallery opening with cooking and everything.
Right. I mean, it's really, if you're twiddling your thumbs, you're not trying hard enough. There's so much going on.
I think what's nice for the Chamber of Commerce is that when you have the Sharon Playhouse and also the Brew Pub in Canaan, Connecticut, you also have a Brew Pub, by the way, in Norfolk, Connecticut. More and more as these things come into towns and they become attractions in the towns themselves, the towns themselves benefit.
Absolutely. I mean, they're pulling in people that, they become a destination. You know, people say, let's go to Canaan and have lunch and hit the brew pub and shop for some antiques and make a day of it. And it's totally doable. You can do all of those things.
And the Chamber of Commerce, I think, is an important integral part of that, because sometimes businesses out here feel kind of lost in the wilderness because it's not like you're in a big city. It's not like you have the comfort of hundreds of businesses and you've got to all interconnect.
Yeah, here is very, very different. You don't have 50,000 cars driving by in a day. In some cases, you don't have a whole heck of a lot of foot traffic. And you really have to be creative of how are you going to pull people in that door. You can't just sit there and wait for them. And it's hard for a business owner, I think, to do everything. You know, you've got to wash the windows. You've got to check the inventory. You've got to, make that delivery. Owning a business is such a complex beast. And to have to stop everything and figure out how am I going to market this new product, this new line, this new menu, it's overwhelming for a lot of people, and that's why we're here. We're here to help.
And I want you to know, I opened up the announcements that you send out now, as I found out, almost on a weekly basis, and found out that Hathaway's has new winter hours. And also what I found out by looking at your email to us is that the Interlaken is now featuring these Sunday brunches to benefit people. The next one coming up will be Sunday, February 3rd, to benefit Women's Support Services.
Yes, part of my tour today, I will be over at the Interlaken talking to Dare and Christy about a whole bunch of stuff, and we're going to figure out how to get bodies in the door and market that a little bit better, and who needs, let's get a whole list of all the nonprofits in the area and see if they can tackle them all. It's an exciting project, and the food there is great.
Well, what I've always found about the Interlaken and Kevin and now his sons and stuff that work there is they've always looked for interesting ways to raise funds and to help people out in different ways. I know for many, many years I hosted an oldies night at the Interlaken to raise funds and for various charities, by the way. And it was always packed, and the Interlaken always makes it. If you're a nonprofit, make sure you contact them and just don't ask them for a donation. See if there's some way you can work together, because they'll try to find out a way they can.
Absolutely, and of course, donations go a long way, but with events like a brunch or of course, I love the beer around the world. I thought that was the greatest event ever. That was a lot of fun a couple of years ago. But with events comes awareness. You get to tap into a different audience, and you get to have some face time with people that you don't normally see, and talk about your nonprofit and what its needs are and what it's excelled at, and get excited about, here we are in a new year.
All right, and if people want to get a hold of you, Jean, to find out more about how they can possibly join the Chamber of Commerce?
I was just saying the other day, I'm so fascinated right now. There's so many ways to communicate, Marshall. It's really incredible. You can email me, jeansaliter2013@gmail.com. You can message me on Facebook. I am Jean Saliter there. You can find me on Instagram, also Jean Saliter there. You can pick up the old-fashioned phone and call me, 860-248-5585, and join the growing list. We picked up 19 new members in 2018. That's exciting. A couple of brand new businesses in there, and some old standby businesses that have been here for years that said, "Hey, what's going on with the Tri-State Chamber?" So we're well on pace to get to 200 members by 2020.
And if people want more information, tristatechamber.com. Tristatechamber.com is the web address.